All right. At request, I am going to demonstrate how I go about making a map. Hopefully this stream will take about half an hour or just a little bit over, because in 45 minutes I have to be running a game. So hopefully this will be quick. The intent here is to create something that's like a warehouse or a science lab, that sort of thing. I'm hoping to reuse it as like either an underground bunker at some point or like a down port. So my hope is that the main room is going to be sort of industrial, sort of grating on the floor, some boxes laying around, but also some empty space that I can drop larger tokens in, like ships, and then a bunch of sort of science lab things that I can use as control rooms or security offices or any of that sort of multi-purpose space. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here. This is tiled. We're going to go and create a new tile. This is just going to be 100 by 100. That's what we're going to start with. The first thing I'm going to do here is import all of my sci-fi tiles. And we're going to start. We want to pick out a good tile that we'll use for our grading here. I am at least going to start with the... Oh, I don't want the corrugated metal. Let's go with... yeah, let's start with the corrugated metal. We'll just start with that. If we don't like it, we can replace it later. And we need to at least be 3 down and 1 over so that we have enough to do the top. So this will be the top. I'm thinking that this room is going to be 10 by 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I screwed that up. Screwed that up even more. 10 by 10. 2, 3, 4, 5. I could probably just be looking at the XY. This is at 5, so it needs to be done at 15. Is that really 10? 3, 4, 5. No, it's not. It needs to be 25. Alright, so I'm already not liking this texture, but it'll do. Oh, screwed that up. Alright. Now we want to do some rooms off to the side. I want these to be sort of concrete slab. So I think I'm going to use this. Well, that's not right. I want something slabbier than that. That'll do. So we just need a hallway of some kind here. We'll call it that. And then from there, we want a couple of labs. Actually, I want this to have a corner just so that I have something to play with later. We are going to then put in a couple of labs. So again, we need 3 as spacer. And then we'll just make this a 5 by... How many do I have up here? 4, 5. That'll do. Man. Then we can put another one over here of the same size. We'll put one in this corner here. We can probably fit 2 more on this left side. It would be nice to also put one over here connected to the main room that we can use as a either main office or security office of some kind. So if this is 10, we want to start this at 3. 1, 2, 3. This should be the same level. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Really, I should just be using the fucking copy paste if I'm going to be doing the same room with the same tiles, huh? that'll do. 1, 2, 3. That'll do. Alright. So now that we have that, we can play a little bit with the tiles that we chose for that main room. Like I said, I don't like that grading. So we can look at our other options here. There was a... What does this look like? I like that better. Mostly because it has less contrasting elements. So we're going to use it. That floor pattern repeated is still sort of annoying, but whatever. So then, for our walls here, I want to use something that's very nondescript and something like a concrete building. So what I'm thinking here is this sort of concrete with the yellow, at least for this hallway. I think I have the same thing with a red that I can use for some of these rooms. It's a tile set I didn't import. There's... Oh, that has the caution. Yeah, I like that for the room there. That'll do. We can also get a more nondescript sort of wall, and so I'm going to use this for some of these rooms here. To give ourselves a little variety, I will take in some of this as well. This needs to be fixed. We can also take our nondescriptness up here. Alright. For the, again, control room, we're going to use the same sort of stuff. Okay. So with that in place, we need to do the surrounding portions to do the walls and that sort of thing. I am, again, looking for something industrial. We are, I think, just going to use this bolted metal sort of pattern here. I apparently misestimated the height of my map when I put the grading in here because I'm now crushed up against the top with this. So we're just going to copy the whole thing and make sure that it's over. And so with that, we have enough room to put our surround on here. We're just going to put this on the top of all of these rooms. I could be using something different for the rooms, but in terms of making this easy and doing this quickly, we're just going to do it this way. We'll then do the same sort of thing across the bottom. And then we'll want to do the same on the sides. I forgot to do the bottom down here. It's K. And then we do this here. I also forgot to do the bottoms across those. Okay. Alright, then we're going to fill in all of these corners here. Hopefully I actually hit every single one of these as I do this, but that's not necessarily likely. Usually when I do this I have to go back in afterward and fill some of this out, which is fine. We'll then do the... I think I just did that one, didn't I? And then lastly we have this one. Alright, so now all of these corners look right, except for we have the corners around this hallway, which are different than all the other corners that we've done so far. So we can do that in there. The last part I'd like to do is finish making sure that all of these are full squares. That way I am mapping out full squares rather than any half squares, because that just gets to me, I guess. I don't have a real practical reason. And then we'll add some doorways here. I'm thinking that this one is going to be to the... Yeah, that second one, we can put this one sort of there. I don't want to put this one in the corner. And then these, I will put this one on the bottom. And this one also needs to be on the bottom. I'm just sort of realizing here that in my MO, I don't want to do them on the bottom one because none of my other maps do that. So we'll do that. And then I need to put a door in here. We're going to put this in the center of the main room, which is going to be off-centered from the tiny room, which I'm not sure that I agree with. Let's take this and move it over one square so that we have this centered. And then we'll fix up the black portion there. Okay. So now we want to put actual doors on this. This here is a great looking industrial door. And so putting this on our warehouse is good. We're going to actually want to make a new tile for this. So we're going to take this existing tile layer and call it our map layer. And then add a new layer for our doors. We're going to make sort of two... Yeah, this really doesn't match. Two doors across here. And so with that in mind, we're probably going to change the background here of this other portion. I am... Like, this is definitely using this palette. So that's a little closer. If we take the center here, that's good. The only problem that I have is that I really would like this sort of metal around the outside if we're going to go that route. I really wanted to keep that so I knew where it was. And so we're just going to, so like I said before, we have the opportunity to make these hallways a different color, and so I'm going to go with that. So they are thematically in line. I think actually it has enough silver. Let's just do it. It looks a little out of place, but whatever. We're then going to want to put doors on the rest of these structures. This door looks perfect for our control room. And then we're going to do more of a industrial sort of regular door on the other side. The problem with this tile set that I'm using for these doors is that I now have this extra line here. I'm going to have to clean that up and GIMP later. So that puts the two doors that we have. We're then going to want to put some other objects in here so that this looks occupied. Like I said, I want some boxes for this main room, but I also want a bunch of open space So we're just going to sort of scatter these in here, but we're going to leave this section open for something to be in here. In terms of the rest of this, if the control room here is going to have some sort of controls. So looking through here, that looks more like a power plant sort of thing, but this looks like something that we can slam in this corner here. Well, it's a little too big for that. We really want something that's only one tile wide, I guess. This is a great desk. We're actually going to use this desk. We'll just put it in the middle of the room. Can we get away with doing something like this as well? We can make a new decal layer here. Not great. Really, we'd want to do this off a tile, but it'll do. In terms of the rest of these rooms, again, we wanted to make them sort of lab-like, but so that they can function as other rooms as well. So we're pretty much just pulling from this page. Let me take some industrial equipment, shove it into this room. Take some different industrial equipment, shove it into this other room. We'll put some panels on one of these walls. We can put other panels on another wall. And this looks like equipment that should be somewhere. Maybe this needs some seats at it. I mean, it sort of looks like something that would have seats at it, right? I actually do want to put those one back. We also want to continue filling these so that they look occupied. I don't know. I'm sort of running out of ideas here. Oh, well, I haven't used this thing. Ooh, this is the green room. Or yellow room. Put that in there. Put a nuclear symbol on something. No. That looks like it belongs. We can put this in. And no, we don't have something that tall, but we can still put the oops, I selected too much. We can still put the buttons in. We're going to want to put some furniture in some of this. Oh, I put that on the decal layer. Whoops. So we'll put that on the furniture, and we're just going to make a second furniture layer here. And we'll put him on that, but we're going to want to erase the stuff that goes out of the map. With that, there's still some empty space in all of these rooms that we want to fill. So what I'm thinking is sort of lab bench style stuff. So we can, yeah, the problem is that these sort of white and clinical. I actually like the square on this. Is it? Can we just use the center of this and deal? No. That's part of that. Okay. That doesn't, I'm going to actually want to put a stool in front of it rather than one of these white chairs, but it'll work. Is this the same thing facing the other way? I think it is. Oh, it's portioned so that I can make a square of some kind. I don't want to put any cabinets in here. What is this? Some sort of ducting? Put an air conditioner on one of these roofs. And by roofs, I mean one of these labs. Another layer. And then once again, apply the eraser. Alright, I still want something right there, but if I don't get something, I'm happy with it. These other rooms, though, still need some... Oh, see freaking lab tables. This is fucking perfect. This is what I wanted before. That'll put it across 2 squares. We can sort of line this wall with some, I should be on this lower furniture level, and I can just, I should have just selected this up. Then we can put 2 in there, and then we can put more of a centralized table. And then we're going to want to put a couple chairs in there, but for now that'll work. We're also just going to throw some random lab tables in this other place. And then one hexagonally here. And by hexagonally, I do mean vertically. We're also going to replace this one that I put in that corner because it was stupid. So now we need some chairs for there. I remember seeing some, yeah, small civil work chairs. Actually, this is freaking perfect for one of these. Done. Put some, here's a freaking office room. It's a big freaking office, but I don't want to move too forward with that. This also gives us an opportunity to change this up so that we're not using the same motif everywhere. Anyway, the then one of the so like I was saying, we need to add some. Oh, there needs to be a door there. We need to add some chairs. That's what it was. What am I looking at for time? Alright, not good. Oh, hello. I actually want to just use the top portion of this and push them into the tables. Can I achieve a similar effect with these? Yes, I can. So then we're going to go back and fix these. Okay, I guess people are just standing in that lab in the bottom there, but that's fine. We want to... it'd probably be good to... Oh. Okay. So... this leaves us room. There's some empty space in some of these that we can add some more objects to when we actually go to use this, so that it can occupy whatever use it actually has. If it's an underground bunker, we can put some more science stuff into it. Or if it gets us a science bunker. If it's not, if it's like some sort of hangar bay, we can just shove some crates into some of these and it'll work out. Alright. So what we actually need to do last is, I haven't added any of the shadows yet for indicating that these are actually walls. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our shadow layer here. And then I have been lazy and just stealing shadows from these cabinets. So we'll go through and put that in. Yeah, fuck it, we'll go all the way to the end. Okay, so that adds shadows to all the rooms. I think then we're done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to save this out. We are GMing here, so we're going to call this our Scilab _ warehouse. That didn't save. I don't know what the fuck I just did. Oh, I just saved a CSV. Okay. Like I said, we need to repair those doors. So we're going to export our different layers. Really, we just need to export this furniture layer as a separate layer, since this is the one with the 3 lines. Oh, you know what? I did not resize this map. This map is now stupid huge. So before we actually export, we're going to want to go and fix that. So we are currently 54 by 54. That's a fine size. So we're just going to resize to 54 by 54. Hopefully we don't lose anything. If we go into our pasting tool, we're in red, and red. Fine. Okay. Now let's actually export this. So we're going to export this as an image. Again, _ map. Yes, I do want to replace it. We'll export the furniture. And then we'll export the decals. Alright. And then we'll start up GIMP. We're going to want to open our map layer. Tracteurblinde, Google Drive, D&D, TForce RPG, our Traveler, the Scilab warehouse map. And then we are going to open as layers those other two, the furniture and the decals layers. And then we will take the furniture layer, needs to be down on the bottom. We are just going to take the eraser tool. We want to make sure that we use the hardest brush that we have. And we're just going to erase them. I think it's just these 3 doors. I really should have triple checked that, but so then if we zoom out here, I only see those 3 doors, and I only see problems with those 3 doors. So it looks like I put furniture on the other side of this door and cropped out the far edge. But I'm not going to fix that. The rest of this map looks good right now. It doesn't look like we're missing any parts. It looks like I did everything. Alright, ship it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to resize it so that we hit the 70 pixel squares that Roll20 uses. I just happen to know that that is 218.75% to go from 32 pixel cubes to 70 pixel cubes, or squares rather. And then we're going to set the interpolation to none. And then we scale it, and then we can just hit Control-Shift-E and export this as our Roll20 map. Alright. Perfect. Alright. So then with that exported, what I'm going to do is bring up the Roll20 campaign for the Traveler, and we will insert this into our game. Alright, so here is the map of the, I think we're currently on the Artemis page. We're going to create a new page for the warehouse that we're just creating. We created it as 54 by 54, which will turn into 27 by 27 once we divide by 2. In Pathfinder, everything is 1.5 meter squares. We're going to use the black background because, like we said, we turned it to black, and we're going to use a Euclidean. I'm going to go through and demonstrate the dynamic lighting stuff, so we're going to enable that while we're here. So then we go to the map layer, and I should just be able to drag the thing that we created over here. If we find our Scilab Warehouse Roll20, I can drag that on, it'll upload. And then this should be scaled perfectly so that we just drop this into the corner, and we can verify that each of these squares looks like it's taking up a square. Our hallways line up. Everything looks perfect. So it looks like we didn't mess that part up, which is grand. Then in terms of dynamic lighting, I've been too lazy to do anything to actually make the doors player interactable. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the dynamic lighting layer, and we're going to just make the doors by hand as we're going through this. So usually I just use the polygon tool. I usually use yellow because it's super quick. And then we're just going to outline this. It doesn't matter if it's rough because you're going to see black whether or not they have vision around the outside. And so we'll just cover all of this. And then I didn't see any islands, so it looks like this is fully contiguous. I'm then just going to switch to the pink color, which is the color that I've just been using for doors. You can use whatever color you want. And we'll go across here. If you are using the polygon tool, you can right-click to stop the polygon path, and so that's what I'm doing here to make this quick. So then, if we go down into the token layer, we can go to one of our characters, we can drag one of our PCs over. I'm going to sort of collapse that. I know it's basically, you could have just pause it and see that stuff, but whatever. So our characters have, I'm still in Polygon. Oh no. Select move. Now I got to remove my drawing. Okay. So now we have Jacqueline. She can move around. If we go into the token view mode here, which is Control L, we can see that we can see around. Because we've set restricted movement, we can't move through these doors. If you have the advanced hotkey set, you can hit the comma button to go into the dynamic lighting layer, and then we can just shift this over, and then we hit O, go back to token, and that'll allow, once players are moving around, if they say they open a door, you can go to comma to just go to the dynamic lighting layer and adjust stuff, and then hit O to go back. So looks like this map is complete and ready to use in 10 minutes. Hope that was useful. Now I gotta figure out where OBS was.